back, everyone. We are February 4th, 2026. This morning I weighed in at 187.2. So we're making good progress. I think as of late, the most difficult part, obviously, are the weekends. It's where the scale kind of goes up on Monday and then kind of lowers back down by Tuesday, Wednesday, right? But what we need to focus on is the weekends. It will always be and always has been for me, a struggle. But I'm slowly realizing things that have hindered me on the weekends, I guess, in a way where, I'm not working, so I have more time. Sometimes when you're bored, you eat. And it's not always the good stuff you're eating in those moments. So acknowledging that, I'm just adjusting every weekend, gathering information and just making those changes and implementing those changes every weekend, and just trying to be more consistent overall. So we are already 1 month down from 2026. It's crazy, time flies. But I've gathered a lot of information from January in this weight loss stuff, so it's all positive. It's something that's going to take years. I'm very aware of that. It took me years to get to this point. So it's obviously going to take a lot of time to build the good habits and for those habits to become part of my routine and my mentality and just a part of who I am. And anyone that, hears this or will eventually see and hear this and are struggling with weight or whatever it might be, if you're an emotional eater or a binge eater, I'm there with you. I sympathize, I empathize with it. It's not always easy. It's always just something that sometimes we like to keep inside and not share with other people. And it's so difficult and touchy, especially with food. It's like, well, you need food to live and to keep your body, fueled and energized, and so it's all around touchy, So if you do struggle with that stuff, you're not alone. There are things you can do to overcome it, or to at least acknowledge it, that you struggle with certain things and that you kind of address them. And also maybe sometimes the weight loss journey a little bit more tricky and sensitive, but some people, not everyone struggles with that, God bless, but people that do struggle with it, I understand. I've struggled with weight my whole life. It's not something that I necessarily focus too much on. It never really affected me to the point where, I don't know, I would not go out or be social, but it would affect me in on the summer, The options I'm limited to or feel comfortable wearing, and it's hot, and shorts and t-shirts and stuff. Sometimes, it's either shorts and a sweater or sweater and shorts. There's always these little things, or not wanting to wear a bathing suit, or avoiding going to a cottage because everyone's going to be swimming, and you're like, I don't want to swim with a t-shirt on. I don't want to be that guy, that gal, you know? But at the end of the day, you acknowledge those little things that, like, it would be nice to go to cottage and fucking wear a bathing suit and just, who cares, you know? And the last couple of years, I have done that, you know? So, but enough of that. That was my little rant. Today is the first lunch walk. So I'm on lunch break. It's having issues with internet, so I just took an earlier lunch. Normally I would be taking a nap because I'm always tired. Something else that I've addressed with my doctor and we are working on. So no naps anymore. I'm gonna do a 30-minute walk here, watch my show, and this evening I'm gonna do another 30-minute walk, and I will include weights. So that is the plan for today. quick turnaround. See, previously, I had done a walk on my lunch break. Work is over. Now I'm back doing another 30 minutes. So after this, and then we're Wednesday, so I go pick up the bins. So when everything's said and done, I should be close to my 10,000 steps for the day, so that's great. And then after this walk, I should be doing my lower body workout. So I'm still tweaking the whole full body stuff. The previous workout I had done was a good upper body, but I think because I was doing too much, I was like already an hour in. So we'll see how I tweak it where I can, because when I go in, I just want to hit as much as I can for each body part, and then sometimes I get sidetracked and I do more sets than I should be doing. But sometimes I gotta do more reps because the weight I have is limited. Obviously, I have plenty of weight here for different variations that I am not at that weight yet, like for bench press, like especially without a spotter, like the weight I was doing in previous videos, it's like the weight I'm comfortable doing alone. If I would jump from that weight to the, a plate on each side, which I've never tried, but in theory should be able to lift at my size. I just don't have the technique and the experience to do so, plus spotter. So sometimes you'll see me lift weights at a lower weight, but do more reps, and then the weight I have that's sufficient will just be, till failure. So I'm gonna tweak that because I did a pretty good upper body, and as you noticed, I love upper body. I do have a shoulder injury that's been like ongoing for over a month and a half now, so that's concerning. Each time I increase the weight and when I do my overhead press, like I can't sustain the weight I was doing before, so that's concerning. I should be going to see physio. I haven't done that yet, so that's on my to-do list, so that my shoulders are my favorite body part to work out. Workouts I've done the most besides arms. Shoulders the main one I like to hit, but right now I was pushing through before, but at a lower weight. But if I want to try to like PR, like there's no way. I tried the other day there with the max I've done before, and I got one rep out, and I think that caused even more issues. And I know that the way I sleep on my side, and I like to sleep facing the window, so I'm leaning on the right shoulder, which is probably not helping the situation. But that's beside the fact. That's just a little rant. But get my 30 minutes in right now, and then hit the weights after that. Okay, sorry about that. I keep forgetting that it shuts off at 23 minutes, so I have put well, I didn't forget, but I guess I forgot that I put a timer on my watch to remember to go reset it. So then I went initially, reset it, played it. Then I noticed the lens go back in and it's shutting off. Then the battery was done. So switched the battery. We're back. We are at 22 minutes. 84 active calories. Heart rate is at like 120. Yeah, feeling warm. But it's normal. And yeah, that's about it. One thing I'll add if anyone is interested in, getting a walking pad. I mean, you can walk outside for free, right? But in the winter here in Canada, this is perfect. The only thing I've noticed, which is weird, is that when I do walk outside, my pace is way quicker. But then when I'm on this, it's like, it feels like the speed, I don't know if it's the width of the pad and the length, that it's like, if you miss 1.5 steps there, boom, you're off, right? And at first, the balancing of it, it took a little getting used to, not gonna lie. I was super familiar walking on a treadmill, but the treadmill is massive. Well, the one I have is old school, but like you have the handles there, it's way longer, so like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like, it's different from the pace on here than outside. Or than outside, I'm walking quicker, but I'm burning less calories, I'm less sweaty. And then on here, it's like, it feels like I'm more out of breath, but my pace isn't as fast, but I'm burning more calories. So I don't know what all that means, why I said it, but that's that information.